Hello, this is going to be a quick video over the beginning of probability, okay? So probability is the chance basically that something will occur, all right? A lot of probability is looking at events, okay? And essentially how you calculate probability is that probability is the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total outcomes. So probability can be given as a percent, but it can also be given as a decimal, okay, or a fraction. When we talk about probability, all right, there's a lot of special notation for probability. So the probability that event A will occur, and A could be anything that you label it as, okay? It's just, like a variable. It can be written as P of A. Okay, so P obviously stands for probability, and A would be event A. So we're going to look at some probabilities, and these ones should totally be ones that you guys can do on your own, but I'll just go over the answers. You're rolling a 6-sided dice. What is the probability that you roll a 2, okay? So I know this is easy, but I want to show you this stuff with easy examples, right? The probability that you roll a 2, all right? So we want to roll a 2, right? What are all the probabilities that we could roll? A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, right? So that's our one favorable outcome out of our total outcomes, right? So how many favorable outcomes do we have? We have 1. How many total outcomes do we have? We have 6. So the probability that you roll a 2 would be 1 out of 6. Again, obviously something that you could figure out on your own if you know what a dice is. But let's keep going. What is the probability of rolling an even number? Okay, so now we have multiple favorable outcomes. You could roll a 2, you could roll a 4, or you could roll a 6. And again, you still have the same number of total outcomes, which is 6. And now we have 3 favorable outcomes, so the probability would be 3 out of 6 or a half, okay? What's the probability of rolling a single-digit number? Well, every number that you could roll would be a single-digit number. So the number of favorable outcomes is actually the same as the number of outcomes, 6 out of 6, which equals 1, and 1 is actually the highest probability that you can have. This isn't like I'm 110% sure. No, it's between 0 and 1, 0% and 100%. Okay. Example 2. All right. A jar contains 12 green marbles and 8 purple marbles. A marble is chosen at random and then put back in the jar. Another marble is chosen at random from the jar. Does the color of the first marble chosen affect the possible outcomes for the second marble? So this is talking about this thing called replacement, okay? The fact that the marble was put back into the jar means that no, the first marble's color does not affect the second marble. You put it back in, you shake it up, right? You still have, 12 out of 20 chance that it could be green or 8 out of 20 chance that it could be purple. So what this is called is independent events, okay? So 2 events are independent if the probability of one in no way affects the probability of the other. Okay, so you can think of examples. If I'm flipping a coin and whether or not it's raining outside, okay? The fact that it's raining has no effect on the probability between me flipping a coin and getting heads or tails, okay? There's a million examples that you can think of, just 2 things that don't influence each other at all. The last vocab word that we're going to talk about today is sample space. A sample space is all possible outcomes for an event. So what we were doing earlier when we were like listing out the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the bottom, right? That's the sample space, okay? So for example, you pick 2 marbles out of a bag that contains green, pink, and orange marbles. List the sample space of this event. So what are all the possibilities that you could get? Well, you could pick 2 green marbles, right? You could pick a green and an orange marble. You can pick a green and a pink marble. You could pick a pink and an orange marble. You can pick a pink and a pink marble, or you could pick an orange and an orange marble. So in total, there are 6 possible outcomes that you could get. And it doesn't say anything about order mattering or picking out one and then picking out another. So therefore, we don't need to say like OP is something different than PO, okay? So that's basically it today. We're just really going over like the basics of probability and the vocabulary. There's a quick practice down here that I want you to try. If you have any questions, let me know, and have a great day.